Hello there, little one. Are you feeling sleepy? That's wonderful. Snuggle down deep into your warm, cozy bed, like a tiny seed nestled in soft earth. Close your eyes gently, just like the flowers do when the moon begins to shine. We're going on a very special journey tonight, into a world woven from moonlight and whispers, a place where dreams begin. Let my voice be like a soft, starry blanket tucking you in as we float together into the most peaceful, magical garden you can imagine. It's a place made just for sleepy thoughts and happy sighs, a place where everything is gentle and everything is kind. In this quiet, moon-kissed corner of the world, nestled amongst rolling hills that seemed to breathe with the gentle rhythm of the night, lay a very special garden. It wasn't a garden of bright, sun-loving flowers. Oh no. This was a garden that woke when the world slept, a garden bathed in the silvery glow of the moon. The air here was always soft and cool, carrying the faintest scent of sleepy lavender and the sweet perfume of night-blooming jasmine. Tiny dewdrops, like fallen stars, clung to the velvet leaves of the plants, each one shimmering with a captured moonbeam. It was here, in this tranquil haven, that a little garden gnome named Bloom made his home. Bloom was a dear little gnome, with a kind, wrinkled face and eyes that twinkled like the distant stars. He wore a little pointed hat the color of moss, and his tunic was patched with soft pieces of dandelion fluff. In his gentle hands, he always carried a very special watering can. It wasn't made of tin or clay, but of a single pearly seashell, so smooth and beautiful that swirled with colors like a sunset hidden in the ocean. Bloom moved through his moonlit garden with quiet, careful steps, his tiny boots making almost no sound on the soft, mossy paths. He hummed little wordless tunes as he worked, melodies that sounded like the gentle rustling of leaves or the faraway murmur of a sleepy stream. He loved his garden more than anything, and tended to it with the most loving care. Each plant, each leaf, each tiny bud was precious to him. Not far from where Bloom often sat to watch the moon rise, lived Sprout. Sprout was a joyful little sapling, his slender trunk still young and flexible, his leaves a tender, hopeful green. Sprout wasn't very tall yet, but he had big dreams. Oh, such big dreams. He dreamt of growing tall, so tall that his highest leaves could tickle the bellies of the passing clouds, so tall he could whisper secrets to the stars. Even when there was no breeze at all in the garden, Sprout would sway ever so gently, a happy, rhythmic dance, as if he were already practicing reaching for the sky. He loved the feel of the cool night air on his leaves and the soft glow of the moon. When Bloom was near, Sprout would rustle his leaves in a friendly greeting, a sound like softest whispers. He often shared his dreams with Bloom, his voice a tiny, hopeful sigh carried on the still air, dreams of sunshine and gentle rain, and of becoming a strong, kind tree where little birds could build their nests. Bloom would listen patiently, a gentle smile on his face, nodding his mossy hat in understanding. High above the moonlit garden, drifting with an unhurried grace, was Puff. Puff was a cloud, but not just any cloud. He was perfectly round and wonderfully fluffy, like a giant ball of softest cotton wool. Puff wasn't a rain cloud or a stormy cloud. Oh no, Puff was a dream carrier. He floated through the night sky, collecting the sweetest, gentlest dreams and carrying them carefully to those who were sleeping. Sometimes, Puff would glow with a soft, rosy light or a gentle lavender hue, depending on the happy dreams he carried within his fluffy embrace. He moved so slowly, so peacefully, you could almost forget he was moving at all. His voice, when he spoke, was like the softest sigh of the wind, a gentle murmur that seemed to carry the scent of chamomile and warm milk. Puff loved to drift over Bloom's garden, watching the quiet magic unfold below. He knew it was a very special place, a place where good dreams were always welcome, and nestled among the distant, sleeping mountains that cupped the garden like gentle hands lived Echo. Echo wasn't someone you could see, for Echo was a playful mountain spirit, made of air and sound and the gentle magic of the high peaks. Echo loved happy sounds. A soft giggle, a gentle hum, a whispered wish. Echo would catch these sounds and repeat them, oh so softly, making them dance and shimmer through the valleys. Echo's voice wasn't loud or startling. It was like the delicate chime of tiny, invisible bells, or the hushed whisper of wind through ancient pines. When Bloom hummed his little tunes, Echo would sometimes hum them back, a faint, sweet melody from afar. When Sprout whispered his dreams, Echo would gently repeat a word or two, tall stars tall, as if agreeing with the little sapling's hopes. Echo was a friend to the garden, a gentle presence that made the quiet night feel even more peaceful and full of wonder. Tonight, like many nights before, was a night for planting dream seeds. Puff, the fluffy cloud, had drifted especially close to the garden, his edges tinged with a soft, golden light. He carried with him a precious cargo, tiny, shimmering dream seeds, gathered from the happiest corners of slumber. These weren't ordinary seeds. They looked like miniature, sleeping stars, or tiny pearls of condensed moonlight. Some glowed with a soft blue light, others with a gentle pink, and some even sparkled with all the colors of a sleepy rainbow. Puff knew that Bloom's garden was the perfect place for these seeds to rest and grow into the most wonderful dreams. He drifted lower until he was just above the tallest flowers, and with a gentle sigh, like a soft breath, he let a few of the tiniest, most delicate dream seeds drift down towards Bloom. Bloom, who had been watching Puff with a knowing smile, carefully cupped his hands. One by one, the tiny dream seeds floated down, like miniature, silent fireworks, landing softly in his weathered palms. Each seed felt a little different. One was smooth and warm, like a pebble that had been basking in the sun all day. even though it was night. Another was surprisingly light, almost like a speck of pure light itself, barely resting on his skin. Bloom looked at each seed with great tenderness. He could almost feel the tiny dreams sleeping within them, waiting for the right moment to unfurl. He chose one that pulsed with a soft, pearly glow. It felt peaceful and calm in his hand. He knew just the spot for this one. He walked softly towards a little patch of earth near Sprout, the soil dark and rich, smelling faintly of damp moss and sweet earth after a gentle rain. The moonlight filtered through the leaves overhead, creating dappled patterns on the ground, like a soft, lacy blanket. Sprout rustled his leaves gently, watching Bloom with happy anticipation. Bloom knelt down, his knees making soft indentations in the moss. With a careful finger, he made a tiny, perfect hole in the soil, just deep enough for the dream seed to feel snug and safe. He then placed the pearly seed into the little hollow, his touch as light as a butterfly's wing. He whispered to it, a soft, gentle murmur, "Little dream seed, full of peace, may you grow into a dream of quiet rivers and gentle breezes." Then Bloom reached for his seashell watering can. He dipped it into a little pool nearby, a pool where the moonbeams loved to gather, making the water shimmer with captured starlight. The water inside his seashell can now looked like liquid silver, twinkling softly. With utmost care, he tilted the can, and a few glistening drops of moonbeam water fell onto the spot where the seed lay hidden. The water soaked into the earth, carrying with it a touch of the moon's gentle magic. As the last drop disappeared, the soil above the seed seemed to sigh, a tiny, contented breath. Bloom smiled, a deep, happy smile that crinkled the corners of his eyes. He knew this dream would be a lovely one. For a moment, Bloom and Sprout just watched the little patch of earth. The garden was so still, so quiet. You could hear the faintest chirping of a distant cricket, a sleepy, rhythmic sound, and then a tiny, almost invisible shimmer appeared on the surface of the soil where the seed was planted. It was like a tiny star had blinked into existence for just a second, and then faded. Sprout rustled his leaves a little faster, a tiny thrill of wonder. Bloom nodded softly. The dream seed was settling in, beginning to awaken its gentle magic. He knew that soon, from this tiny seed, a beautiful, peaceful dream would begin to grow, eventually carried by Puff to a sleeping child somewhere, filling their sleep with serenity. Puff, watching from above, gave a soft, contented sigh that sounded like rustling silk. He released a few more dream seeds, each one unique and special. One was a tiny, lavender-colored seed that smelled faintly of sleepy flowers. Another was a warm, golden seed that felt like a tiny drop of sunshine. Bloom carefully gathered these new seeds, his heart full of gentle purpose. He chose the lavender seed next. It felt wonderfully soft and soothing in his palm. This one, he murmured to Sprout, will dream of fields of lavender, swaying in a gentle summer wind with butterflies dancing. Sprout shivered his leaves in delight at the thought. Bloom found another perfect spot, this time beneath a cluster of nodding moonflowers, their large white petals glowing softly in the night. The air here was sweet with their perfume. He knelt again, his movements slow and deliberate, full of care. He made another little hollow in the soft earth, just right for the lavender seed. As he placed it in, he hummed a soft, sleepy tune, a melody that seemed to weave itself into the scent of the moonflowers. He then took his seashell watering can, already filled with the shimmering moonbeam water, and let a few more drops fall gently onto the waiting earth. "Grow well, little lavender dream," he whispered, "and bring soft, peaceful sleep." Echo from the distant mountains seemed to catch his whisper, and a faint, sweet sound like sleep drifted back through the quiet garden. Next, Bloom picked up the golden seed. It was warm to the touch and seemed to pulse with a gentle, happy light. "Ah," Bloom said softly, "this one feels like a dream of sunny meadows and happy laughter." He looked around his garden, his eyes twinkling. He found a spot near a tiny, bubbling spring, where the water made a soft, chuckling sound as it trickled over smooth, mossy stones. The sound of the spring was like nature's own lullaby. Here the earth was damp and cool, perfect for a happy dream to take root. Bloom carefully planted the golden seed, his fingers gentle as always. He watered it with the starlit water from his seashell can, and as he did, he imagined a dream filled with warmth and joy. "May you bring smiles to a sleeping face, little golden dream," he wished for it. Sprout swayed happily, his leaves catching the faint golden glow that seemed to emanate from the planted seed for a fleeting moment. Puff, the fluffy cloud, continued to drift lazily overhead, a soft, benevolent guardian of the garden. He watched Bloom with gentle approval, his own form sometimes shimmering with the colors of the seed's bloom, planted a touch of lavender, a hint of gold. He knew that each dream seed, tended with such love, would blossom into something truly beautiful. Sometimes, a tiny wisp of dream fluff would detach from Puff and float down, landing softly on a leaf or a petal, adding its own touch of gentle magic to the garden. These wisps were like tiny snippets of dreams, soft and fleeting, smelling faintly of stardust and sweet milk. Bloom continued his gentle work, moving from one special spot to another. He found a seed that was the color of a twilight sky, a deep, velvety blue with tiny silver speckles. He planted this one near the roots of an ancient, sleepy willow tree, whose long, trailing branches swayed like gentle curtains in the night air. "This seed," he thought, "will dream of starry nights and whispered secrets between the moon and the trees." He watered it, and the earth seemed to welcome the seed with a soft sigh. Sprout, watching from his place, felt a deep sense of peace settle over the garden. The air was thick with quiet anticipation, with the gentle promise of beautiful dreams. As Bloom was looking for another spot, his eye caught a faint shimmer near a patch of glowing moss. He tiptoed closer, his curiosity piqued. There, nestled amongst the soft, emerald moss, was not a dream seed from Puff, but a tiny, perfectly formed mushroom. It wasn't an ordinary mushroom, though. This one glowed with a soft, internal light, a gentle blue-green luminescence that pulsed slowly, like a tiny, sleeping heart. Bloom had never seen one quite like it before. He knelt beside it, marveling at its delicate beauty. It cast a soft, magical light on the surrounding moss, making the dewdrops sparkle like tiny diamonds. Sprout stretched his topmost leaves a little, trying to get a better view of the wondrous little mushroom. Even Puff seemed to pause in his drifting, his cloudy form hovering as if in gentle admiration. Bloom didn't touch the glowing mushroom. He just admired its quiet beauty. It felt like a secret treasure of the garden, a little piece of hidden magic. He felt a sense of wonder, that even in his familiar garden, there were always new, gentle surprises to be found. He smiled, and the little mushroom seemed to pulse a little brighter in response. Echo, very softly, repeated a sound like a tiny, wondering ooh, as if sharing in Bloom's quiet delight. The discovery made the garden feel even more enchanted, more like a safe haven where gentle magic was simply a part of the whispering breeze and the soft earth. Bloom then returned to his task of planting the dream seeds. He chose a seed that was a pale, rosy pink, like the first blush of dawn. It felt light and joyful in his hand. He decided to plant this one close to sprout, right where the little sapling could watch over it. This one, Sprout, Bloom said softly, is a dream of friendship and happy songs. He carefully tucked the rosy seed into the earth near Sprout's roots, and Sprout rustled his leaves in a way that sounded like a happy giggle. As Bloom watered it, a faint scent of wild roses seemed to fill the air for a moment. The garden was slowly filling with these tiny pockets of nascent dreams, each one a promise of peace and gentle happiness. The moon climbed higher in the inky sky, casting longer, softer shadows across the garden. The air grew cooler, and a profound stillness settled over everything. The only sounds were the gentle whispers of the night, the distant stream, the occasional soft hoot of a sleepy owl, and the almost inaudible sighs of the sleeping dream seeds as they snuggled deeper into the warm earth. Bloom moved with an even quieter grace now, his movements mirroring the deep calm of the night. He found a tiny seed that shimmered with all the colors of a rainbow, but very softly, like a rainbow seen through mist. It felt incredibly delicate. He planted this one in a little clearing where the moonlight fell brightest, hoping it would grow into a dream full of wonder and gentle marvels. Puff, the cloud, began to look a little sleepier himself. His fluffy edges seemed softer, and his light a little more subdued. He had shared many of his precious dream seeds, and he knew they were in the best possible hands, or rather, in the best possible garden. He drifted a little lower, and his voice was like the faintest whisper of silk as he spoke to Bloom and Sprout. "The garden is looking so beautiful," he murmured, "so full of sleepy wishes. I once carried a dream that grew from a seed much like these. It was a dream of flying very slowly over a world made of soft pillows, where everything was warm and cozy, and the air hummed with gentle lullabies." As Puff spoke, tiny, almost invisible sparkles drifted from him, like sleepy dust, settling on the leaves and petals around, making them shimmer faintly. Bloom smiled up at Puff. "That sounds like a lovely dream, Puff," he said, his voice soft and low. Sprout swayed gently, imagining what it would be like to fly over a world of pillows. The thought made him feel very cozy and sleepy. The garden itself seemed to be listening, the flowers nodding their heads as if in agreement. The scent of night-blooming flowers seemed to grow a little stronger, a sweet, calming perfume that encouraged sleepy thoughts. Bloom noticed that his own eyelids were beginning to feel a little heavy, like soft petals ready to close for the night. The gentle work, the peaceful atmosphere, the soft moonlight, it was all wonderfully soothing. He had just a few dream seeds left in his palm. One was a deep, tranquil blue, like the quietest depths of a peaceful ocean. He planted this one beside the little bubbling spring, where its gentle murmur would sing the seed to sleep. "May you dream of calm waters and silent stars reflected on their surface," he whispered. Another seed was a soft, creamy white, like fresh milk. He nestled this one into a bed of feathery moss, where it looked like a tiny pearl on a velvet cushion. A dream of comfort and warmth, he wished for it. Each seed was given its own special place, its own gentle blessing. Soon, all the dream seeds were planted. The garden seemed to hum with a quiet, invisible energy, the gentle power of dozens of tiny dreams beginning to stir in the soft earth. Bloom stood back, his seashell watering can resting by his side, and looked around. The moonlight bathed everything in its silvery glow. The glowing mushroom pulsed softly in its little nook. Sprout swayed contentedly, his leaves looking almost silver in the light. Puff drifted serenely overhead, a soft, protective presence. The air was cool and still, filled with the scent of damp earth, sleepy flowers, and the faint, magical aroma of the dream seeds themselves. It was a picture of perfect peace. Bloom walked over to Sprout and gently patted his slender trunk. "You will watch over them well, little Sprout," he said softly. Sprout rustled his leaves in response, a promise to keep the tiny dreams safe. "And you will grow tall and strong, reaching for those stars you dream of." Sprout seemed to stand a little straighter, a hopeful sigh whispering through his leaves. Echo from far away softly repeated, "Stars, tall." Bloom then looked up at Puff. "Thank you for the beautiful seeds, Puff. They will bring much happiness." Puff glowed a little brighter. "It is my pleasure, dear Bloom. Your garden makes them grow so wonderfully." His voice was a sleepy murmur like distant waves. A gentle quietness enveloped the garden, a quietness that invited sleep. The little dream seeds were all snuggled deep in the soft, warm earth, feeling cozy and safe. Just like you, little one, feel cozy and safe in your bed. Bloom felt his own body growing heavy with peaceful tiredness. He yawned a wide, gentle yawn like a sleepy kitten. He found his favorite spot to rest, a soft patch of moss beneath the ancient willow tree, its branches like a gentle curtain around him. He curled up, his mossy hat tilted over his eyes, and soon his breathing became soft and regular, joining the gentle rhythms of the sleeping garden. Sprout, too, felt the sleepiness in the air. His swaying became slower, more gentle, until he was almost still, his leaves relaxed and drooping slightly, as if he were dreaming his own leafy dreams. The little glowing mushroom continued its soft, rhythmic pulsing, a tiny beacon in the quiet dark. Even Echo, the playful mountain spirit, seemed to grow quieter. The sounds Echo repeated now were the softest imaginable. The sigh of the breeze through the willow leaves. SSSSHHHH, SSSHHHH, or the gentle murmur of the spring. Babble, sleep, babble, sleep. These sounds were like a lullaby for the whole garden, and for anyone listening. The moon, now high overhead, looked down like a gentle, smiling face, watching over the sleeping world. The stars twinkled like distant, friendly eyes. The garden was a haven of peace. Every flower, every leaf, every tiny dream seed resting in profound tranquility. The air was cool and sweet, carrying the faintest scent of lavender and chamomile, scents that whispered of deep, restful sleep. Everything was calm. Everything was safe. Everything was ready for dreams. And now, little one, it's time for you to join the sleepy garden. Feel how heavy your eyelids are becoming, like blooms, like soft petals closing for the night. Feel the warmth and comfort of your bed, like the soft earth holding the little dream seeds. Listen to the quietness around you, like the quietness of the moonlit garden. Let your body grow heavy and relaxed, sinking deeper and deeper into softness. Breathe in softly and breathe out slowly, letting all your busy thoughts drift away like little clouds. Imagine those tiny dream seeds nestled in Bloom's garden, each one holding a sweet, peaceful dream. Perhaps one of those dreams is just for you. A dream of floating gently on a soft cloud like Puff, or discovering a magical glowing flower, or listening to the stars sing a quiet song. Let these gentle thoughts fill your mind, soft and light as a feather. There's nothing to do now but rest, nothing to think about but peace. The moon is watching over you, just like it watches over Bloom's garden. You are safe, you are warm, and you are so very sleepy. Close your eyes now, if you haven't already, and feel yourself drifting, drifting, drifting into a wonderful, deep sleep. Let the gentle magic of the moonlit garden fill your dreams with quiet joy and absolute serenity. Sleep now little one, sleep deeply and peacefully, and may your dreams be the sweetest, softest dreams of all.